Kick and chase by Mullins. Kick and chase again by Mullins. It'll be a miracle. Oh, it is a miracle. Fafita tries to crash his way over. He does. Fafita got the ball over the line.
Hunter's kick is over the sideline for a 40-20.
Yeah, g'day champions and welcome to 40-20 Sports. Today's episode we're going to be doing the weekly wrap, just the 2 games to cover, so it should be nice and sweet and short for you guys. But before we get into it, we're going to do a little promotion about our 40-20 Cup. The league code for that, our overall league code is 122-155. Got some massive prizes to give away. First, second and third will be getting some prizes. First spot is $500. Second spot is $250, and third prize will get some merch off us, some hats, shirts, that kind of good stuff. To be eligible for those prizes, you do have to be either following us on Instagram or subscribe to us on our YouTube channel here. So either one of the two, that'll get you the click over to get the cash and the merch. Righto, we'll probably get straight into it, I'd say. We are going to run, first of all, we'll go by the first game. The Raiders, the Durs, too good for the Waz. 30-8 winners. The forward pack for the Raiders was super impressive, but they looked like they had a lot more speed in the outside backs. They were utilising that quite well. Jamal Fogarty was getting a lot of good ball out to their outside backs, which is really good to see. They just dominated them from start to finish, really, their forward pack. The likes of their wingers, I know Roger Tuivasa-Sheck ran for nearly 200 metres, but he barely ever broke the first tackle. He was getting bent back. Poor old Tane Tuapiki, he was getting absolutely manhandled every time he was running into the line. They couldn't get any go forward off their kick returns. Their starter sets were quite poor just because the big boys from the Raiders, the likes of Tarpany, Horsburgh, Papali'i, he was really good. Just were bending them back every time they got near the offensive line sort of thing. So really good positive signs from Raiders fans. Warriors, that'll be one to forget for them, no doubt. They really struggled with a bit of direction when they were in good ball. There was at a point there where the Warriors actually had more ball in the opposition 20 than what the Raiders did. I think it was 15 to 12 tackles in the opposition 20, and they just couldn't sort of solidify that into points, and it showed. Oh, poor old Metcalf, he had an absolute shocker of a game, but very different from what we saw in the trials, and it is hard to gauge off it because Metcalf in the trials, he was quite good, he was quite dominant half, he was running the ball well, he was passing well, but I think his confidence was rattled after a few dodgy calls. He gave an intercept pass, to Xavier Savage, was missing his goal conversions. I just think his confidence was down. I would not panic just yet on him. That'll be something we get into a bit later, but we'll talk about him. But anyway, the big winners out of that one were Xavier Savage, I think very lowly owned, but 114, got the first 100 for the season, had an absolute blinder of a game. 2 tries, a try assist, line break assist. Look, he was everywhere. His tackle bust, he had 9 tackle busts, which was awesome to see from him. Usually he's more of a fleet-footed sort of guy and doesn't really get too many tackle busts, but 9 tackle busts for the game for him, really good to see. 2 offloads, like we said, a line break assist. He very fortunate to get a line break assist and try assist out of that Tomoko try. I thought that was all Zach Hosking. If you are a Zach Hosking owner, I would feel absolutely robbed. But anyway, he was busy as well, which is, you don't usually see that from Xavier Savage. Usually has a bit of a quieter game with his base stats, but his base was up, made a couple of tackles, got that intercept try, like we said, which accumulated to his run meters, but 24 points in hit-ups as well, which is very surprising to see from him. Usually he doesn't go that high, but yeah, he was good. Ethan Strange, 89 from 5'8". 5'8's been a bit of a contentious spot. Very hard to lock down someone who's consistently pumping out big scores at there, but Ethan Strange, look, I probably wouldn't be jumping all over him, but an 89 for that is really, really good. 3 try assists for him. Tackle, very good defensively, Ethan Strange, so really good to see. Sebastian Chris with an 86 was nice. Timoko with an 83. Again, these are guys that we probably won't jump onto. They will have their big games and big moments, no doubt, but just fortunate to have a good week for today for Vegas, Hudson Young with a 76. We touched on him in the preseason, scored the most 100s out of anyone in the 2RF position. So a 76 from him is a really good start of the year. 34 tackles, 6 tackle busts, 2 offloads, and 23 points in hit-ups. Really good to see from him. Held up in goal was a really nice point of difference for him. He gets the 3 points for that. But Hudson Young, look, you could go worse with him. He's an 80-minute back rower, 76. Very good start of the season for Hudson Young. Tamale, look, he is a big one. 73. We talked about him all through the preseason, about how we thought Albert Hopewade was going to come back and join that squad once Tamale had got his debut for the Raiders there in round one. Albert Hopewade not starting the season in the Tide, being at home for the birth of his first child. Look, I don't know how you get rid of this Tamale. He ran for over 200 metres. 73 points, no tries, no try assists, 26 points in tackle bust. That is 13 tackle busts. Sorry, that is an enormous effort. An offload, 2 line breaks, 27 points in runs. Just a massive effort from him. He looks like a Supercoach friendly player. He's a big, tall, rangy sort of fella, but he's kick returns were very powerful. He's one off the ruck sort of stuff was very, very good. Very, very powerful stuff from him. Like we said, he's an absolute mere mountain. They picked him up from the Dragons. I'm hearing all sorts of things that the Dragons just death rided him, wouldn't let him play first grade sort of thing. This happens when development players get picked for another side. So Tamale, really promising stuff. Fisher Harris, he was good as well. He got the 61. We'll touch on the Warriors players a little bit later. But Corey Horsburgh, 61. Absolutely unleashed with the offloads. He had 3 offloads. Was on 50 points at halftime. I thought, friggin' hell, we could end up around 80 here, but didn't get as many minutes as what I thought he was going to get after playing nearly the first full half, but still got 60 minutes. That's very promising stuff from Corey Horsburgh. Should go for about a point per minute in that position if he keeps lofting out them offloads. 2RF, front row forward duels. He should be picked in all sides, I think. If you have this guy in your front row forwards with a 61, he solves a lot of issues. 29 tackles, 1 tackle bust, 4 offloads, 23 in runs. It's an awesome effort for a guy that's only 350 sort of K. So really good there from Corey Horsburgh. You're sort of getting what you're paying for there. Zach Hosking, 2RF. He was quite popular when he came in. Didn't quite get the 80 minutes. I think he'll grow into 80 minutes. I'm nearly convinced that because of those calf injuries that he sustained during the preseason, only reason he didn't play 80. I think he's going to be a future 80-minute player. They had Sasimi Sasagi on the bench there just to cover him for 20 minutes, give him a breather. Like I said before, very hard done by. Only a try contribution somehow for that line break he gave to Timoko into a try. If not a try assist, and you think Timoko did enough, he should at least be warranted to be able to get the line break assist, I believe. Anyway, bit hard done by there, the Hoskins owners. Tarpanay with the 51, we touched on him in the preseason. He always seems to start quite slow sort of thing. So 51, you'll take that, but again, probably not the value you're looking for. Jamal Fogarty, 51, he's just this sort of guy that doesn't get these Supercoach points. He was very influential in that side. Got to them where they needed to go. His kicks were very important. Just the way that he talks to the players and gets that big rolling forward pack that they've got there into good ball. Very, very handy for the Canberra Raiders squad. KO Weeks, look, he was quite disappointing. Only a 33. We had a little look at him in the trials. Got that awesome little line break and set up for the try assist in the trials. But again, we did touch on him. Averaged less points at fullback than what he did at halfback throughout the year. So we sort of thought he was an avoid, although a couple of people got on him just because he was a fullback playing in the 5'8 position. People picking him in 5'8 position. I understand it, but again, probably shouldn't run there. Owen Paddy, bottom dollar, hooker, 21 points, decent points per minute. He only got the 19 minutes, so getting 21 from Owen Paddy, good from him, good debut, good service out of dummy half, didn't overplay his hand. Looks a promising star. I would look for him. I mean, Starling was exceptional as well, but I would look for Owen Paddy in the around round 6 to 8. He may start getting a bit of increased minutes there. For the Wars, look, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he was the best of them with a 73. Scored a nice try on the left-hand side. Like I said, ran for 190 metres, Does his work. He just didn't seem to bend the line back when he was doing his kick returns. Like we talked about, the Raiders players just seemed to be getting on top of them from the front foot. Every kick return, every one off the ruck play that they were doing, coming out of their own end. He was just super busy again. Plenty of tackle busts. Looked the goods, old Rog, 73. If you got on him for the start of the season, I think a very good pick. Was projected to get 71, but again, he is priced at $550. So 55-point average, basically. Getting the 73, that's good value. Talked to him as well. The Fish, he just led from the front, 61. Was pretty hard to see how dominant the Raiders squad was by bending blokes like James Fisher-Harris, Mitch Barnett back, Jackson Ford, he's a promising young front rower as well, and they just had no answers for the Raiders forward pack that are rolling on. Mitch Barnett, like we talked on, 55, he moved into the lock position at the 1 hour before kickoff play. Thought he might have got an uptick in minutes, but not to be. He sort of still got those minutes that he was getting in front row forward. So I'm not sure about Mitchy Barnett, but still a 55 is decent. Capewell, 51 with a try. Not that promising. Chanel Harris-Tavita. Now, we talked about Luke Metcalf at the start. He had an absolute stinker. Chanel Harris-Tavita looked like more of the ball-dominant player in that side. He was getting a lot of good ball down the left-hand side. Scored a couple of good tries off of what he was doing down there on that left-hand side. Got a try assist, 51. He's only 300-something K. He'll be one to watch if he goes a little bit better in the second game as well. If he pumps out another 50, 60 points, he could be an option for a bit of cash. 20 tackles, 2 tackle busts, 2 offloads, a line break assists, and 8 points in runs. Nothing special, but again, 51. He just watch him. Seemed to be the dominant ball player, like I said. If they start getting a few more attacking opportunities, then he could move into something a bit more along the lines of a dominant ball player. Getting up around those 50s and 60s could be quite nice at his price range. Wade Egan, 48. Now, I've led everyone on a bloody bum steer here. Wade Egan, I thought for sure 80 minutes with how that bench looked. Aaron Clark being in the starting rotation with Dylan Walker to come on for him. They had Valmarga on the bench, Ford on the bench. I thought for sure 80 minutes. Hour comes before kickoff. The late mail comes in. Clark's on the bench. Walker's on the bench. I panicked, thought, shit, Egan's not playing 80. One of those blokes is certainly coming into that squad to give Egan a breather. I thought he was destined for about 65 minutes. Not to be. Got the 80. 48 points. Look, it's not disappointing. It's not pleasant to see. 48. It's sort of around that mid-range mark that he's sort of priced at, I suppose. The promising thing for people that did get on him, I'm a little bit dirty that I got off him actually, because at the end of the day, I'd be happy with the 48 from what his price range is. 47 points in tackles, 48 points overall. Eventually, attacking stats are going to come for that. A 48, I think, is decent. 47 tackles, got the 80 minutes, like we talked about. A little bit disappointed that I jumped off, not really because I went to Harry Grant. I think Harry Grant's going to have a lot of upside, and I just thought, I'm going to stop worrying about this whole hooker rotation thing. I'll just pick the big dog and worry about the round 2 bye when it comes. 48, decent. I think it's a decent score. I wouldn't be panicking if I was on Wade Egan. Aaron Clark, 47, pretty good. Moved to the bench, still got a decent amount of minutes. Still 2 RF, front row forward dual. I think that rotation that Webster has there at the Warriors, it is a little bit confusing because there's a lot of guys that don't get a lot of minutes, but Aaron Clark seems to be up there in the minutes there. Ali Leotau, only the 33, pretty disappointing for people that jumped on him. He was an absolute wrecking ball in the trials. They did not get enough good ball. They really need to sort this halves issue that they had. Like I said, Chanel Harris-Tavita being the dominant ball player, going left. Ali Leotau, he is on the right-hand side. They just saw no ball in that game. Tane Tuapiki with 30. Again, I'm not sure how long he lasts in this squad. Just being such a smaller body and being a predominantly fullback as his desired position, just kept getting bent back. You sort of need these big boys to roll on, like we saw Tamale. He was phenomenal at it. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is very good at it as well. As is all these bigger sort of bodies that you see now as wingers. The smaller wingers, there's sort of not really a place for them because they need to get their team on the front foot. He was just getting absolutely dominated in tackles. The Raiders boys were eating him up when he was coming in. A little bit worried for his future. Halasima, 230k he was. Got 23. Got about 23 minutes as well. Look, pretty disappointed to see him only get the 23 minutes, which I thought is what he was going to get anyway, but I was not planning on Demetric Valmarga getting 16 points and only 13 minutes. Wasn't what we saw in the trials either. Valmarga seemed to be one of the first guys to come in off the bench, so a little bit confusing there why he only got the 13 minutes. Whether Webster's seen something in the trials he didn't like, I don't understand the whole rotation there because the Raiders were absolutely chomping up their middles, and he seemed to go with, all right, we need smaller bodies in there. We're going to put Aaron Clark and we're going to put Dylan Walker in there. And again, they just came on and got dominated. You know, I think the likes of Valmarga, Halasima would have been a better option going into around about half-time, coming out of half-time, put these big monsters on, try and get a bit more go forward, try and get away from this one off the ruck, getting bashed with the little fellas. It just baffled me a little bit that these guys didn't get a little bit more minutes, not so much towards the back end, but around that period where they had real tired forwards. The Raiders had a lot of dominance in their forward pack. I just thought Valmaga and Halasima could have been used a little bit better. I am an owner of Valmaga, so I was a little bit disappointed to see that. But yeah, again, 13 minutes, probably not enough to keep him. Lukey Metcalf, 5'8" halfback. Look, very disappointing game. 12 points, threw an intercept, which I think shot his confidence, missed his goals, which shot his confidence. He just seemed to be in a more of a mentality of pass first. Forgot about his running game. He had next to no points in runs, had the 6 for runs, had 3 runs all game, so very disappointing there for Lukey Metcalf. That's not his game. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think you jump off him. 12. We've got this, the flexi position. We want to touch on the flexi position. If 12 is your worst score out of all your players that he picked, Luke Metcalf will slide out of that anyway. So, fingers crossed, I'll keep him for another week. I think everyone should keep him for another week. The 12 will be the first game slid out of his average. So, he could get on to next week and brain it. We'll wait and see. He might get a bit more opportunities there to have more shots at goal. His shots at goal were quite challenging. Whether he keeps that as well, Chanel Harris-Tavita, he can kick goals as well. All right, for that one, that's all done. We'll get on to the Penny Panthers and the Sharks. An unbelievable game. 28-22, Panthers victors over the Sharkies. I literally thought the Panthers coming in off no trials, like what balls it takes to do that. They came in, they absolutely fucking brained it, as they usually do. They were down on troops. They're just going to be another force. We're going to have to put up with the Panthers being an absolute force in 2025, unfortunately. The Sharkies, I think they stuck it to them, though. They were very good. I thought Adam Fanua-Blake was really good. The defence that they had to put on their line sometimes was really, really promising to see from the Sharkies. But again, with the Panthers, towards the back end of that game, I thought no trials, no real game day experience going into the season. They are so seasoned at it, but 4-time premiers, very well documented. They just banded together towards the last 5-10 minutes. The Sharkies were coming at them, and they just had all the answers. Really good to see. It's actually really good to watch. I can't stand them, to be honest. I'm sick of seeing them winning, but you've got to stand back and applaud it, really. All right, for the Panthers there, Isaiah Yeo, our man, we had him in our squad for most of the year. Wasn't until this week leading up to until we saw the team list that we took him out. So I'm absolutely kicking myself that I didn't keep him in there. Got a nice try, bit of a left foot step straight in under the sticks there. So well done to anyone who has Isaiah Yeo. 38 points in tackles, got 4 tackle busts, which is awesome to see from him. Just the 3 tackles missed. Line break had 24 points in hit-up, so the 12 runs for him, all of which were over 8 metres. So didn't get any in the single point categories there for the hit-ups, which is really good to see. Dane Laurie, he was the beneficiary of McLean getting that injury there, the head knock in the first couple of minutes there. So he came on, got an 88. I wouldn't be chasing him. He is very cheap. I don't see a world where he comes into the starting squad, although he was very good. Played really well on the sting there. He actually got through a lot of dirty work, which was I was more than surprised to see. Got 26 points in runs alone. 20 for hit-ups over 8 metres as well. So he was busy, Dane Laurie. I probably don't see him as a prospect, a long-term prospect there. But anyway, 88 was good to see from him. Dylan Edwards, I nearly shit the bed when I saw that he got 75 points for this game. Had a try assist, which is really good to see. A couple of offloads, just the 9 tackles, a tackle bust, 2 line break assists, which was promising. Had the 33 points in runs. He's always a runner. Just some of his plays coming out of his own half were absolutely ridiculous. Dylan Edwards, that's not his game. He's a very safe player. He likes taking the runs. He was doing these big, massive cutout passes going to absolutely no one. Every single one of them that he seemed to do were going to someone's feet, over their head. It was crazy town. They're going to do the video footage of that and just say, mate, what the fuck were you doing? But anyway, 75 points for him, which is really good. If you started with him, there was a lot of noise about you can't go Edwards if Cleary's in the squad. Maybe that's not so much the case now that Luai's there. He was really good, Dill Edwards, in attack. Just a bit of crazy stuff going out of his own end. Luke Gardner with a 74. That's decent. I wouldn't be going there. I don't know the future of him in the centres. He may go back onto the bench now that Isaiah Papali'i had a bit of an injury to his lip. Bit of question marks about that being a a fracture or whatnot, but I think it was just a nasty cut to the lip. Lindsay Smith, want to go on to him for a minute. 73 points. 42 points in tackles, just the one missed. 42 tackles, one missed. One offload, 22 hit-ups, 22 points in hit-ups over 8 metres and 7 in under 8 metres. So 29 points, had a held up in goal. So 29 points for tackles, 42 points for runs. He gets 73 points. He is priced at a juicy 500. Oh, sorry, he's just shit himself. Anyway, we'll get onto him later. Look, I sort of saw Moses Leota not getting any more minutes than what he was getting last year after, I think, 18, 19 minutes. He was benched anyway. So Lindsay Smith seems to have picked up all the minutes there for the Panthers front row forwards, which is bloody good to see. I mean, I didn't grab on him, but 60 minutes for Lindsay Smith is what he got. We'll have a look at that because Liam Henry isn't there, so maybe the minutes are inflated. But again, anyone who gets a 74 basically in base, we've got to keep a little eye on that. He's mid 500k. We've got to keep an eye on Lindsay Smith, guys. So next guy on our list is Nathan Cleary. 68. Look, I'll take it. Start of the season. Generally, halves don't score quite well. 68 points. I'll take that. Try assist. 3 try contributions. I thought, the old Nathan Cleary wonder points that he gets, I thought maybe he would get a couple of them, but I think they're correct, the 4 try contributions that he's got. He wasn't the main person that dished out the pill. He did create a lot of space out on the outside because of that, but again, I don't think he's the main man. I think they've got that one right there. Goal kicking was phenomenal as usual. 19 tackles, line break assist, only the 7 points in runs for him, so a little bit down on that. But again, 68 points, I think you can be pretty happy with that. Paul Alamotti, he was really good on the wing. He strapped the boots up of what Brian Toto usually does. 34 points in runs for Paul Alamotti. Got a line break, played really well, I thought. Got a nice little try as well. 65 points is good from him. Liam Martin with a 58, not much going on there. Targo, bit of an option at 57 points, but again, probably won't be looking too much into that. Isaiah Papali'i, 43 points coming off the bench. Should have taken him out of your squad. I think his minutes probably go less when Liam Henry is back. He seemed to come straight into that middle spot, so I would be avoiding him. Again, Sorensen, bit of value there, but again, 40 points, not getting the 80 minutes, wouldn't be touching him. Apart from that, Casey McLean with a 4. Very disappointing if you had Casey McLean. He was a bit of a popular option over his brother Jesse getting that spot. HIA in the first couple of minutes there, his first couple of runs. So a bit disappointing there. There's not much you can do about that, but that is what the flexi is for. So fingers crossed you don't have McLean and big fella Metcalf from the Warriors. Otherwise, you'd be probably thinking about deleting the app there. For the Sharkies, Jesse Ramian, 93. Got a nice try. He was unbelievably busy. 8 tackle busts for him. A line break assists. 32 points in hit-ups and runs. So very good to see from Jesse Ramian. Usually their outside men do a lot of work. But again, Ramian was super, super busy today. Adam Fanua-Blake, now, just got the 55 minutes, I believe. We'll double check that, but 55 minutes for Adam Fanua-Blake. There was a bit of talk that his minutes were going to decrease, not significantly, but he did come out and say that his minutes were probably going to take a hit. He was up around the 60-minute mark at the Warriors. 54 minutes for our man, Adam Fanua-Blake. So look, still decent. 54 minutes, I think you can take that in. Little bit super happy, offload happy, in the first friggin' second of the game in the first set. He nearly coughed the ball up for the boys. I think that might have just been a bit of nerves, playing with a new team, wanted to impress. 5 tackle busts, an offload, like we said, line break, and the 31 points in runs. So look, he busy as always. If you picked him, you're probably thinking, thank God I paid up for that. 92 points for a premium front rower, that's really good. We know he can do that. We know he can hit those strides of the 100 points when he gets the opportunities. Britton Nickera, 66 points there. Got a nice little try off a grubber from Braden Trindle. Just a stock standard night really for him. Decent tackles, decent runs. Has the upside of getting a try, so a 66, pretty decent. What else have we got? Brayley, 62. He just tackled his little pecker off 58 tries. That'd be all right. 58 tackles for Brayley. A couple of people paid up for him, 62 at the hooking position. I think if he gets that every week, you'd be happy, although I don't see him making 58 tackles a game. Trindle, 57. Look, this is a huge call here. Trindle is kicking goals in what is an absolute blow to Nico Hines owners. I had no prior information about this. I did jump onto our Instagram account and I crumbled to the Iongi run. I took Nico Hines out for Iongi. Now, I had no prior knowledge of Hines' goal kicking being taken away from him going to Trindle, so that's a bit of good fortune for us. But again, you'd be absolutely shattered. He kicked in the trials. Not sure what's going on there. I don't think he had an injury cloud under, so maybe Trindle does have the kicking duties now. Nico Hines is maybe just trying to concentrate on his running game, his footy ability. He doesn't want the added stress of goal kicking. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Kennedy with a 49. Yeah, we're not touching on him too much. Stone Street 40. Their bench players, Hazelton, Hamilton, Talakai, nothing to really go on to here. Mulatalo 28. Look, we talked about these Sharkies players. He'll get 100 next week or something like that. Silly. Their averages seem to work out that they take the attacking stats off each other. Look, the only thing that you can do with Ronnie is pray that he has another 28-point game and he flies down in cash and we can pick him up a little bit later. Daniel Atkins, not much to report there. Didn't get many minutes off the bench. So, yeah, that about wraps it up. We probably went a bit more in depth with that than we would have liked to in most instances. We'll probably keep them a little bit more short and sharp, but because there's only the 2 games, we'll run with that. Again, for anyone looking to jump on, 4020 Cup, our league code is 122-155. First prize, $500. Second prize, $250 bones. Third prize is a merch pack. Have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel or liked and following us on Instagram. They're the only 2 prerequisites you need to have to be eligible for those cash and merch prizes. That's going to wrap us up, guys. Take care. See you next week. Bye.